Hello, chimps. How are you? Philly? Is it morning still? I don't know. Just about. Um, I'm doing a little video about mental health because it is a lot in the media lately, and awareness weeks and days and stuff. Every mind matters, correct. But I can only talk about my experiences of mental health from my first time. The second time I had cancer wasn't asked, to be honest, wasn't bothered. Different story. The first time was before there was really any internet, so when you get diagnosed, don't forget, I was recently out of the army. I was 29, 30, something like that. And I had lots of bounce. And to be told all of a sudden, you've got cancer, and then waiting for, as everybody on this phone will tell you, waiting, that's not clever for the mind, is it? We all want to be told what's going on straight away. And one of the biggest shocks that lad's getting cancer is, there's a reason why there's time periods, because believe it or not, if you have your testicle away and then a CT scan, and then CT scans all the time, we want CT scans every week saying, is it coming back? Is it there? What's this? What's that? But with cancer, you've got to, if something's really, really small, that can't be picked up by a CT scan, and doesn't show for another 4, 5, 6 months, even a year, 2 years, there's no, a CT scan might miss it, so you have a bit of time, see what's going on. Is anything going to grow? Is any sort of cancer going to come back? So we all get wound up by that. We want all that done quickly and everything. So the psychological effect of not being prodded and poked every 5 seconds is quite hard. Most men will agree. Why aren't they getting me in for this? Why aren't they getting me in for that? But so it's the psychological effect there can cause a lot of anxiety, and anxiety leads to depression because does it? I don't know. But what my first time depressed, was I? I don't know. Was it just more wound up? I think the biggest shock is when you go through cancer and then the chemo, and if you're on chemo for 6 months or whatever, when you're on that chemo and the cancer, you're in the system, so you concentrate on that. You've got to concentrate. You're thinking, is this chemo going to work? So you don't really have time to get that down. You get stuck in, sort of like a brave soldier, What I got down afterwards, when they kick you out of the hospital and say, see you in 3 months, because as lads know, been on BEP or EP or whatever, you're absolutely worn out. You're absolutely battered when you finish it. So when you actually finish the chemo and then say, right, we'll see you in 6 weeks, that's when my lowness and depression started, I think. And I had it for a while, and I personally think that was more to do with, I wanted to feel better quicker. I wanted to be back to my old self pretty quickly, but it wasn't happening. I was knackered, I was tired all the time. My sleep patterns went to whatever. Weight was going up and down, and sort of like getting a bit snappy and horrible with people. But I got really down. I know I answer questions on the forum now, and I always say time sorts, and it does. And I always say I'm of the mentality, what will be, will be. That's soldier mentality. Not everybody can be like that, I understand that. But I went on, I went to my doctor's, I spoke to his name was Dr. Lee. He was great. He used to know that I just wanted to chat sometimes, so he'd chat to me. Even over the 15 minutes, he'd chat away. Dr. Lee in Wirral, wonderful doctor, wonderful GP. But it put me on antidepressants and that. Did I feel better? I don't know. Maybe the anxiety dropped a bit. I remember that, and I was a bit more But I had other things going on with people, which were bringing me down a bit. But I remember one day I woke up. I don't know how long it was afterwards, maybe a year. I woke up and I got up and I felt like crap. I really did. I felt like I was back on chemo again. And rather than just got back in bed, I burst out laughing. I really did. And there was tears coming from my eyes. It was just me alone. I burst out laughing and said, I'm sick of this. And I said to myself, Phil, it doesn't matter how many counsellors you see and how many tablets you take. Don't get me wrong, that's fine. They help. But at the end of the day, it's only you who can turn yourself around. It's only the way you're thinking. It's only your attitude. It's only your... And don't get me wrong, there are things in life we all have to worry about: money, kids, jobs, everything. That'll never go away. But at that point, I thought, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of not feeling me. And that was, and I don't know what it was. It was like turning a light switch off or putting a dot at the end of his sentence. And from there on, I just, don't get me wrong, I wasn't Superman the next day. I just woke up thinking, come on, only you can make yourself better. Doctors with all the good intentions and the tablets and the counsellors, or with all the good intentions, and they do work for a while, but there's only me and my mind and my way of thinking that will change it. What has happened has happened. There's nothing I can do about it. And it wasn't my fault. So, as we all think when we've got cancer, what have I done? You know. I'm not saying this is the way to do it. I can only say this is what happened to me. And it's a strange one. And I wouldn't recommend everybody having that. Trying that. It might not work with everyone, but ever since I've been, what will be, will be. I've been a shrugger. I've never been a drama queen, but I've always been a shrugger since. Don't get me wrong. You know, you worry about things. Of course I do, but as long as the people I love are fine and fed and warm, and I've got a smile on the face, that's my goal. I've always been more caring and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I've always been a caring person. I think that's my downfall, really, isn't it? But no, but you know, with mental health awareness, you can't not get told you had cancer and have be depressed or down. You can't do it. And anybody who says they weren't and they flew through it is a liar. Because I know, I have a couple of lads I've known for years who, and I won't name the names, but I've always, it was nothing. Now and then, they ring me up or message me, pissed and giving it loads. So, you know, and that's all right. When they get really, really drunk or really, really wound up, they start giving me crap, you know. Fine. But I'm not stupid. I know why and who they're going to turn to and that. So I'm not having a go. What I'm saying is that nobody, no matter how hard they think they are, can get through that without some more than others, with some sort of mental problem. We don't like the word mental, do we? It's mental health in old school. Some people think mental, you know. But I'm glad there's more awareness, and I'm glad some of you can chat on there sometimes. It is a testicular cancer forum, boys. Let's try and keep it that way. None of us are experts in mental health. I'm sure there are depression forums with people more understanding of it, but you know, let's cheer each other up fine. But what I'm saying really is, it was. I remember that moment. I said to myself, it doesn't matter how many tablets or how many counselling sessions I have, which do help. Don't get me wrong, but nothing lasts forever. And at some point, I turned around and said, I'm sick of feeling like this. and I knew in my head that there was only one person who could sort it out. And once I've learned to sort it out with the way I am, then it'd be easier to get rid of if it ever comes back, rather than going to the doctors and a counsellor. But, if you've had counselling that's helped, that's great, or tablets. I've been there. But the reason I've stayed away from counsellors the second time, and the other reason I stayed away from tablets the second time, is because I knew how to turn it on and off, or I knew how to address it with my own body and mind. I'm not hippie, but people do it differently. Some people might agree with me. Some people might say that's bollocks, Phil, or some people say you can't say that, Phil, to tell people to just... I'm not telling people to man up. I'm telling people that I believe at the end of the day, counselling and tablets help. They do help. But for how long? Counselling is actually a method of making you address it with your own mind and body. So that's just the way I feel. You can make things better by a different way of thinking, and I know it's not that easy. And before you will shout, scream at me, I've been as low and as down as all of you at some point. And not to say I won't ever again, but I know when I do get down, it will pass. Time sorts. And I know everybody, 99% of you on here, will agree with me that although you have your hurdles, time sorts. In 2-3 years' time, you'll think, oh, that was a rough period, but I'm all right. I'm still up and down, but I'm better. Do you know how this makes sense? But anyway, that was just my thinking on mental health and stuff, so I'm sure you'll agree or disagree. I'm sure somebody will come on who had it 20 years ago and maybe still a bit low, might disagree with me, but I can only go off my experience, and I would never say to anybody, don't go and see your doctor, go and see your GP, talk about it. Friends or family, great, but are they trained, or will they know how to react to you? They don't. We don't. We still. I've been talking to lads for years and years, but somebody rings me up really, really depressed and low, I panic. Oh Christ, what do I say? What do I do? That's great. Having sort of friends to rely on, but at the end of the day, you need to go and see your doctor and go down the method I had, where you go on some sort of counselling and tablets for a bit. But like I've said, I think at some point we all have to do what I do and laugh and go, look, it's happened. What's happened? I can't control it. Do we get a bit down because we're out of control of what's happening? Maybe. But I could just say from my experience. Maybe why I'm a bit blasé about stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I'm still here just about on the forum. Don't know how much longer for, but what do you think? Message below. We haven't had any warning emails from November this year. We usually get an email every year saying we're not allowed to do November. None of our all their friends are suing or something, but we haven't had any this year, so I think they're slowly giving up. It wasn't even them who started it. It was Everyman, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. Take it easy. Bye-bye.